Humans are garbage. Humans are garbage.
We didn't choose this life. We didn't ask to be born into this technological fuck nest that is the world.
Yeah. It's not like I enjoy staring at my phone, scrolling through Facebook for 2 hours straight. You know? It's not, I don't enjoy that. I get zero pleasure.
We just do it because we have to. Hey, trash cans. How you doing today?
It's good to see you.
Welcome to Being Human Garbage, the podcast where we teach you how to rise above the irritating, selfish habits of day-to-day life and transcend into being a truly despicable person and a garbage human being. I just wanted to check and make sure we were actually recording this time. We are your garbage men. My name is Wells.
I am Ben. Thanks for tuning in. We've had a pretty successful launch. It seems like we have a lot of followers. About 150, I'd say.
Yeah, something like that.
That's a good amount.
And this is our first podcast that we've recorded after launch.
True.
And
changes things a little bit because we've got to hear ourselves talk like
a lot
more than any other time of our life.
For sure.
Holy shit, if you've never listened to yourself talk, especially like 30 minutes worth of audio of yourself talking,
you're ready to kill yourself after about 10.
It is a very challenging mental exercise, and I do and do not recommend it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the support has been fantastic, and we couldn't thank you guys more. But so today's sponsor, I guess, is you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sponsor audience.
This is our first sincere sponsor. So
honestly,
that's new and probably won't happen again. But
true.
Enjoy it while it lasts. Weddings. Oh, this is a podcast of transitions. Weddings. We were talking about it. I work for a hotel. I won't name it. And we catered a wedding recently for some really high profile people, and it just got me and Ben talking about how awful weddings are.
I feel like there's just this other side to weddings people don't address that is very prominent. Like everyone is thinking it's the elephant in the room. It's like, it's the elephant in the room.
Yeah, there's a lot of sides to weddings that we don't really talk about. And I've been on a lot of different sides of weddings. I was the maid of honor at my best friend's wedding. That's a fact. The picture on our Facebook page is me at that wedding. And you can't see me from the waist down, but I'm wearing a kilt because I wanted to go in solidarity for the dress wearers in the room.
This is not a joke.
No, none of this. This is all real. But we'll probably address some of those other sides in future episodes.
Right.
But today we wanted to address what it's like being a wedding guest and how you can just destroy a wedding.
Yeah.
Just by being invited to it. You're there to tell them the truth. And that truth is that this beautiful moment that you've decided that they are sharing with you is actually just another normal moment for everyone else, and it's not special.
Yeah, like everything that makes you uncomfortable with this person, this other couple, write it down. Just think about it. Spend some time thinking about all different ways. So like the family problems, the tension, how you actually you notice a lot of significant issues with this couple's relationship.
So yeah, there's lots of different holes to poke in this thing. But as a wedding guest, what you're mainly hoping for is to, in some way, large or small, take the attention away from the people that it's about.
Right.
So yeah, what we're hoping for is just to temper expectations about the rest of the relationship, because as we've mentioned, most marriages end in divorce.
I think it's around like 50%.
It's like
something like that.
It's like 50 to 55%. Something. Yeah. It's like just over. So statistically, you're not gonna make it. This won't be your first one. This won't be your last one. It's probably not your first one.
And we know
at the
our
end
statistics,
of the day,
okay?
Yeah, and we make up our statistics just
That's
like
true.
everything else. And so at the end of the day, you want this event when people get divorced or people decide that they don't want anything to do with their significant other anymore. People don't want to look back and go, "Oh, that wedding was beautiful, but it didn't work out." You want people to think, "Yeah, that wedding was ruined by that one guy who kept getting on the table and singing drunken ballads." That's ultimately what you want for people. You want people to remember it as a good event, past its tragic end.
It is your goal to make sure that tragic ending happens.
That's taking it way. Sleep with the bride. Just
Yeah.
do anything you can. Ruin that relationship.
I mean, it depends how far you're willing to go with this. We're only going to suggest to a certain point, this is just something to go off of. We're just providing the foundation.
Yeah, that's
human
really,
garbage existence.
That's advanced garbage behavior, and we're just down here in the beginner stage.
Right.
We just want to make sure that you're prepared to get started in the world of horrendous deeds. Do you have any particular stories of like wedding guests that have gone awry?
I feel like I've always deep down wanted to be that guy. I feel like for the most part, people typically stay in their place, and like understand. Like everyone's wearing nice clothes, everything's super nice. There's cameras constantly on everyone at all times.
Right.
People pay thousands of dollars for videographers to just constantly be filming everything that happens. So I think people have a good idea, like a good sense that their actions are in a way being judged, or basically there's always eyes on them.
Right.
However, alcohol.
Yeah, that's the big thing.
So, the wedding is always nice, but it's the reception when you kind of start seeing
when
the
the
true
shit goes
colors.
down. Yeah,
The shit hits the fan. The alcohol hits the liver, however you want to say it.
Oh, beautiful times. No, I remember my ex-stepbrother, which that's a whole story in and of itself. But we were at his wedding, and one of his best men, groomsmen, he had a top hat and a cane, and he got obliterated. I mean, just like irresponsibly drunk. The kind where you see him and like his entire face looks like it's just wet from sweat and
Whatever else.
Yeah, whatever else happened to him. And he was using his cane to tap every man he saw in the balls.
Ooh, wow! I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
As like part of the homework.
To this,
Use cane.
to use cane on
tap
balls.
other men in testicles. Okay.
Yeah.
Got that.
And it
Got that.
and what the crazy thing is, like, I remember very little about that day. I remember very little about the actual wedding.
Mm-hmm.
I remember him like clearly. Clearly, I remember him. It was not Dad. No, it was some like probably early 30s dude. He probably had a kid. Who knows?
What's up with the cane though?
I think he just thought it was dapper. Which is something we were gonna
Dapper.
get to later with
Okay.
is pimp yourself out with accessories and draw attention away. But he was like really scoring high points in this in this kind of distraction method. There was also the most recent wedding I went to. There was this guy, totally different kind of vibe with this guy. He just sat in the corner and was just loudly crying the entire time.
Did you talk to him? Well,
I was him.
no.
It was me. Moving on.
No. I was so into that story, and then you ended it with,
no.
"It was me." Gosh dang, man, we'll
you'll
talk. We'll
never
have
know.
some counseling sessions.
Yeah,
on this
like I said,
podcast.
this is Human Garbage Therapy Edition,
Right.
With Ben and Wells,
Right. Yeah. But, and I mean, I know I didn't really share an actual story
Yeah,
earlier,
no, sure.
but
if you have a story to share, you filmed a couple weddings, haven't you?
I've never actually filmed a wedding.
Oh, really? I know some people have from like the film department.
I've filmed particular parts of weddings on my phone while I'm there as a guest, but I don't think that counts professionally.
Right.
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 Anyways, had a friend, 2 friends, 3 friends, 4, bluefish, redfish.
Greenfish whore.
One of my friends, Hannah, was getting married. This was like 5-6 years ago. It's been a while. Anyways, got married, blah, blah, had the wedding, got to the reception, and it was at one of our friends' house. They had a pool in their backyard. Everyone was there having a good time. This girl, what's a good name for the girl? Wells, you come up with really good names.
Jalagatha.
Jalagatha, and then there's a guy in the story. Try not to use names.
Dudegeddon.
Dudegeddon and
Jalagatha.
Jalagatha
and Dudegeddon.
Dudegeddon. Jalagatha and Dudegeddon. So, Dudegeddon and Jalagatha were just hanging out, doing their things by the pool. And, maybe they had a little too much to drink, maybe too much caffeine or something, too much Coca-Cola, too much Coke, even the soda. Come on, guys.
It's a wedding.
It's a wedding. People love each other.
Come
here.
on.
This is about love. Anyways, Jalagatha thought it was a good idea to shove Dudegeddon into the pool. Just because at weddings you do that, right? That's like the very photogenic thing to do. Oh, people wearing suits and their nice shoes and everything. Let's all hop in the pool because fuck the world and what society
nice
thinks
clothes.
of why not? Oh, we're so free, so young and free. And then worry about the consequences later, which is unfortunately what Jalagatha had to do because Dudegeddon had his brand new iPhone 5 at the time when that was the newest iPhone. He had it in his pocket and destroyed it.
Oh,
so
no.
Fun times at weddings. Okay,
Oh,
so that's another good tip.
no.
Moral of the story: if there is water or just any type of body of water in the area of the wedding or reception, it is always a good idea to push people in without asking.
Unsolicited. Make sure that that way they enjoy it the most.
Yes.
And that way when you
Yes.
break their phones, it just comes as a surprise rather than a dick move.
Everyone has phones, first of all.
I think we
and
should all
everyone's carrying their
assume, yeah.
phones.
I think
you
we
should
should
just
all-
assume.
Like, unless you're 60 years old and just take pride in the fact that you've never had a cell phone at this point, you probably have a cell phone, and it's probably not a good idea to push you into a pool.
So forget all of that when you're at a wedding. Forget that and do it anyways. Because it makes for an interesting story later on when a friend of those people are making a podcast. So,
Amen.
amen.
Bow, 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 bow. Today, in fake history.
Weddings. Beautiful ceremonies meant to capture the spirit of love and devotion between two people for the rest of their lives, or at least until they get bored, or old, or think it through even a little bit. The lavish traditions and festivities have always spoken one thing, and one thing loudly. This is our day, motherfuckers. You're here for us, and we are the most important people in the world right now. Naturally, that means there must be people to watch the wedding take place. And that person's duty is to coo in awe of the bride and groom and pretend like this whole relationship is in a dumpster fire waiting to happen. But as we know, people never long to do what they're told and will always devolve to the point of maximum depravity. In other words, people are garbage, and proud of it. And if a thing isn't about them, they'll find a way to make it about them. Thus, the essential conflict between wedding guests and the married couple was born. And while it may just seem like frictions between couples and their guests as the result of stress and carelessness, the truth goes much deeper than most people could ever realize. It all started with a man named Mark Despickelschlop in the dark and mysterious time of 1983. Despickelschlop was cordially invited to the wedding of his longtime friends on a weekend in August, the same weekend as his birthday. Actually, it was the weekend before, but he still felt slighted and hurt by their decision to deliberately take attention away from his special day. As a friend, he felt obligated to show up to the wedding, but as a person, he knew that the only thing he could do was return the favor. Despickelschlop started his spree at the rehearsal dinner, where he gave an unsolicited toast congratulating the bride and groom, and going on at some length about the sacrifices he had made to show up to the wedding a week before his own birthday. Though confused, the rest of the guests received his tasteless speech with at least some appreciation and goodwill. Despickelschlop knew that if his determination was to be remembered, he'd have to do more. During the wedding itself, Despickelschlop booed loudly when the priest started reading from the scripture, stating,
I didn't come here for Sunday school.
When the time came for objections to arise, he screamed that he objected, then pretended he didn't say anything and let everything get super uncomfortable for everyone. Finally, during the reception, Despickelschlop drank all of the champagne before it could be formally served, and when it came time to eat the cake, the bride and groom were horrified to find that 3 fistfuls had already been scooped out of each layer. This began a chain of events that would later be known as the War of the Off-White Frosting. an ideological conflict in which wedding planners and participants made the experience of getting married as excruciating for the guests as possible. And wedding guests worked in droves to take attention and happiness away from the couple who are paying tens of thousands of dollars for everyone to collectively notice. Shards of this conflict still remain embedded in our society to this day. But it's always important to remember the pioneers of poor taste. Our hats off to Mark Despickelschlop, human garbage extraordinaire.
Not gonna lie, listening to that makes me like realize how anti-relationship I sound all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
it does.
Let me be clear. I'm not anti-marriage or relationship. I rather enjoy the union of people.
Yeah. I was going to say, full disclosure on both of our cases. Marriage is cool. We know people who are married and they are cool. Cool. What we
Glad
are talking about
Let's
here.
destroy some fucking marriages. Today we are going to do something a little bit different. Normally at this point we give you homework to do, but because this is such a like specific instance, weddings don't happen every day. You have to be invited to them, or be in one, one or the other.
Or just show up.
You can just show up, and actually, the more I talk to people who like have organized and been in weddings, the more I realize that that's an entirely valid option. Like every single person that I've talked to that has gotten married always at some point is like, also like 5 people came that we just didn't invite. No one knew who they were, and we couldn't get rid of them.
I need to do that.
Yeah,
I need to try this out.
I think we need to do the wedding crashers thing.
Do we need to crash a wedding?
Let's
guys?
crash a wedding, dude.
Oh my god, please.
That was an on-air high five.
No, seriously, send us a message on Facebook if there's a wedding coming up and you would like us to crash it and then talk about it. Like in all seriousness.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it.
Let's fucking do it.
Okay.
All right, but tips and tricks, my friends.
and tricks,
the next
guys.
time you're at a wedding, tips and tricks. All right, so for the like 3 of you, I look at the stats. For the 3 of you that are female, if what you need to do the next time you go to a wedding, and I'm sure you've already thought of this, wear white. It's all you have to do. Just put on a white dress. Who's gonna stop you?
So why, I guess.
Because the bride is in white, and it makes, first of all, it detracts from the specialness of her wearing white. Second of all, you always run the chance of people confusing you for the bride, and that is just a fantastic moment.
So wear white, but also do your best to look like you are the one getting married.
Exactly.
That's the real goal. So as close as you can get. If you wear a wedding dress to another person's wedding,
do it.
By all means.
Who's going to stop you? Is anyone going to kick you out of a wedding? I don't think so.
I don't know. They'll usher you.
This is an experiment, actually. I want to see if anyone will actually get kicked out of a wedding.
Wow.
I've never seen it happen, except for people who are like absurdly drunk.
Yeah.
But 2, dress in something very loud or obnoxious or attention-getting.
Right.
So like, wear a kilt. I have experience with this.
He does.
I've done that before.
So since you have personally, you've worn a kilt to a wedding. Like what is some of the like self-talk while you're actually there? In a kilt.
The entire time you're just like,
you.
yeah, this is cool. This is cool. People don't hate me right now. Like people don't think this is obnoxious or weird.
Right. What was it a good
good.
conversation starter or?
Oh yeah, no, a lot.
Right.
Most of the time people just like didn't know how to approach it. They were just like, so that's cool. I'm just like, yeah, dude. And they're like, are you Scottish? I'm like, nope. Not even. Actually,
we
we
pretend to be.
We are a little Scottish, but like, you know, not overwhelmingly. I don't hail from Scotland. I'll say Thompson is definitely a Scottish name, but like,
I'm Scottish. Where's my bagpipe?
that's the best Scottish accent I've ever
I'm really
heard.
good at impersonations, I hear.
It's the best Scottish accent. That's what people from Scotland sound like.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can wear like a bright pink suit. Wear a Razorback suit if you're in Arkansas. Most of our viewership is. Bring like a small pet, a small exotic pet, baby monkey. Wear a baby monkey. That's an attention grabber.
Yeah, definitely a monkey. That's
Would
like
you-
that is the top.
Yeah.
That is like
Would you?
because
You
like
would,
any animal, you bring any animal and it's cute and fluffy. Like
for sure.
goodbye. The
Who
couple
even
who's getting
gives
married.
a shit about the wedding at that point? You have a
Person
cute
has
animal.
a living animal.
Yeah. Like you're gonna talk to the guy who has a monkey, right?
Yeah, I'm probably
I'm gonna get that
only
guy's,
going to talk to the person who has a monkey.
I'm gonna get that guy's life story. Like
Number 3, so the third of our tips and tricks is to announce while you're there, while you're in the middle of the wedding. Basically, it's at its height. People are eating. I would say, yeah, it's the reception.
This is the reception.
People are eating. Everyone.
We're
is
not
just,
monsters. We're not going to interrupt the wedding for this.
Yeah, and this is typically the point where people would stand up and make a toast to the bride and groom. Right. This is the most appropriate time of the wedding to do that. So during that, instead of making a toast to the bride and groom, announce a proposal or pregnancy.
One or the other.
Just pick one. So pick
In fact,
yeah.
And it doesn't have to be with someone who's actually pregnant or that you're actually proposing to.
Yeah.
Just make sure that the attention is on you at that point in time.
And we wrote proposal or pregnancy, but you could honestly do this shape it, bend it to your will. Like, everyone, I want to let you know, my dad has cancer.
That's brutal.
You know, and
that is brutal.
Wow.
Because at that point, the attention can't not be on you.
Yeah.
Like, they have to acknowledge
they
that,
have
right?
to. That's
You
because,
can't even
because
say
then
that.
because
This
is what it does. This is what it does. It instantly forces people to have to sympathize with you.
Yeah.
Like, it pulls them out of their having a good time, thinking about how happy life and love and
that's
like
ingenious, actually.
it pulls them out of it. They are now at conflict with themselves to sympathize with you.
At no point can you be like, oh, that guy's such a dick. His dad has
can't.
cancer. Like,
also,
what kind of monster would you be for thinking that?
Also, that completely brings you up above the level of the people getting married. Someone dying who's close to you.
That's how you get out with impunity. No one thinks you're a douchebag at that. I mean, like, maybe someone questions why you brought it up in that way and, like, publicly announced it, but no one will remember that. Everyone's just going to be like, yeah, no, his dad, man. And everyone will forget about the wedding.
Everyone forgets about the wedding.
That's great, I have to say. That's great. What next?
So number 4.
Oh, this is easy. Just make sure you're never sober. Booze is provided for you anyway, so just...
Yeah, I'd say like tip number 3.5 is like double check and make sure alcohol is there. If not, bring your own.
Yeah. Do whatever you can.
But number 4, make sure you're never sober.
Yeah.
Just in any way.
You always make your best decisions when you're intoxicated.
Yeah.
Always.
Typically. I mean,
that's the way I live my life. That's
yeah.
That's what got me here in front of this microphone.
We're doing fine.
We're doing great.
And we're still not sober.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm going to cry.
And so number 5.
Please.
Number 5 is do something destructive that will ensure that when people remember the wedding, they remember you instead.
Right. And this is really just a culmination of everything that we've been talking about, but this is why we're here.
Yeah, keep in mind that you are the only one experiencing your own memories right now. Right? That's fair? Like, you can't experience other people's memories. Like, it's about you, right? Like, life in consciousness is about you.
You're kind of fucking with me right now. Like,
I should
for
be.
real.
I should be.
You kind of just got in my head a little bit.
Right.
I had to stop and go, oh, fuck, that's true.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. And so with that in mind, this is your world. So who cares about other people, right?
Amen.
That's where it comes from. Yeah. It sounds like super dark and like negative, but really
live this life for you.
Right? I mean, I feel like that's the underlining message
and ruin some weddings.
You only live once. Right?
YOLO.
Yeah. YOLO, guys. That's what we're saying.
That's
go to a fucking wedding and YOLO the shit.
YOLO the fuck out of it.
Out of that wedding.
Yeah. Oh, God. I kind of want to end it there, but always remember, you have a choice. You could go to a wedding. You could you could just sit attentively, recognize that this is their day and that your day will come, and congratulate them sincerely and be happy for people who are taking ultimately a huge risk and announcing their love to the world.
Are you pro-wedding or pro-choice?
Being Human Garbage is an Art Flag production. Episodes are written. Okay. Being Human Human Garbage is an Art Flag production. Episodes are written, performed, and edited by Ben Drain and Wells Thompson. Ben is a sound and video editor, specializing in commercials for car dealerships, and he's very sorry about that.
Wells is a freelance writer, which is another way of saying that he's poor and waiting tables. Like Being Human Garbage on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at WeLikeGarbage for updates and more content.
Email beinghumangarbage@gmail.com to share your own garbage stories, give feedback, or talk to the team directly. All content is 100% satirical, except for when it's not.
Material is used fairly and unfairly as we see fit. All rights are reserved, whatever that's supposed to mean.
See you next time, trash cans.
Boom. Boom.
I don't actually know how this outro music goes.
It's just boom,
That.
boom, 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 boom. That's it. And then it's just a bunch of boom, boom. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.